All right, working on the Agilent RF generator again. This is the board that has the error. This is the reference board. It has this nice 10 megahertz oven in it. And then it has a 1 gigahertz oscillator that's phase lock looped to the 10 megahertz. So this holds the perfect frequency, and then this creates a 1 gigahertz that's tuned with this 10 megahertz. So it's locked on. And so I've tried some things out. One of the things that I discovered was if I hit it with freeze spray, I could get it to work, right? And I have to open it up to hit it with freeze spray. And this is the area here that's the oscillator. And I thought, oh, well, I'm hitting it with freeze spray and I'm hitting this VCO can. Okay, this is a VCO. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to solder on a heat sink. So I soldered on this piece of wire, this copper wire, that goes to the part under question. And I'm going to bring that out through a hole. So I put a hole in here. So now this will be visible from the outside world. So I can keep the can on, and I can hit just this with freeze spray, and that will wick in the cold to the part, and that will start it up. Well, it sounded great in theory, but it doesn't work. Now you say, well, why don't you just have a hole and just spray it in the hole? That doesn't work either. Something I just discovered was if you have a freeze spray that has a tube in it, and you put it in a hole where it's a chamber of air, it won't freeze. You can't get anything out because it relies on the expansion of the gas, and you have a lot of back pressure when you put it in a cavity, and you can't get cold things into a cavity. It doesn't work. News to me. So, and this didn't work. It was a clever idea. I should probably take that off while I have it open, but that didn't work. So the way that I have to run the machine now is to leave this cover off and the side of the machine off. I can reach in here with freeze spray, and I can always start it up with freeze spray. So I'm beginning to question whether I'm just freeze spraying the part. That's supposedly what's wrong with it, but it may be some other components around here that I just don't know. And like I said, I don't have a schematic for this thing, so it's a bit frustrating. So what I wanted to do was to look for a replacement board, okay? And I can't find one, at least not for the price I'm willing to pay. I think $1,000 I could get a board, but I don't want to pay that for it. And it's still a used board, right? So I looked around and I investigated stuff, and I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll look for, so they did half a dozen of these boards for different models, okay? But if you take a look at the block diagram, they're all based off of oscillator and phase lock looped 1 gigahertz, right? Some have a nice reference, some don't. But they have the 1 gigahertz thing. So I figure, okay, great. I'll buy a board that is close. I'll take off the VCO off of that board and I'll transplant it onto this board. That sounded like the best bet. And I found a board for $150. It ended up being $200 shipped to my door. So I figured, okay, for $200, I'll take the gamble. So let's see what we got. All right, for everybody playing at home, the part number of this board is a 4423-60018. So this is the 60018. And there's 60010s and there's 60009s, and the 9s were like the first ones, and that one didn't sound quite right to me. And I looked at the block diagram and I thought the 10 would be an okay one, and that's what I found. So this one is from an E4400-6010. This is the reference board. You can see it's got a 10 megahertz oscillator on it, and it has a 1 gigahertz phase lock looped section. This is out of a 3 gigahertz unit, okay? So it's marked right here. It was from an ESG D3000A, D2000, E4431A. I have the E4423A. It says it was tested on an E4433B, 4 gigahertz. So it was tested. And I've taken these labels off, but it had the Cal calibration stickers already on it. So no one had touched this thing. It was tested good. It has another tag on it here in 2025. It was tested on a 4 gigahertz unit. And so this one should be good. So yeah, let's open it up. All right, here we go. We're inside this one. Here's the oven. And this is the VCO section right here. And it looks completely different, unfortunately. Yeah, it looks completely different. So, from my best guess, not having schematics for these things, this is an oscillator. And it is phase locked, of course. But this does not have that funny little can, that little VCO can. I think, if I had to guess, this, well, I don't know, it could either come first or last. So it could be that they couldn't get those little parts anymore, or there was problems with those parts, they failed or whatever, and they came up with this design, or this design came first and it was kind of hard, so they did the other one to cost reduce it or something. I don't know, to make it better. But this one uses the stub of wavelength of coax here. It's a transmission line oscillator, and this is the length of 1 gigahertz, right? And so it's either a half wave or a 1 wave. Let's see. Okay, I quickly did the math, and it's about 3 inches for a quarter wavelength of 1 gigahertz. So. Now, that's in free space, and so we have a longer than that, and we have a dielectric. So this might be a half wave. Or something funny. I don't know. Now I'm kind of confused. It should be shorter, because it has a dielectric in it. A quarter wavelength will be shorter. And this is like 3.5 inches, so I don't know. But anyway, that's the way this thing works. It's an oscillator, and I guess it would make sense if it was a half wave. I don't know. But this is this, but I think this is in the later version. Well, here, let's read some date codes on. Let's read some date codes. That'll put me out of my misery here. Well, there's a couple date codes of 1997 on this one. And this one looks like it's the year 2000. So this one came later. That one came before. Yeah. So I don't know. This is definitely 97 connectors. This is a 1997 oscillator, and this is the year 2000 oscillator. And yeah, so anyway, there you go. So I'm still stuck on about $200. Maybe someday I'll be able to use this, or maybe I can learn from this. I mean, it should be possible to make my own little 1 gigahertz oscillator over here. My little VCO oscillator should be possible. I don't understand why you can't use a 1 gigahertz crystal and then just bend the crystal a little bit, because it doesn't need to have a wide tuning range. It needs to have a very, very narrow tuning range. So that's what this thing is. It's just a crystal that's bent inside. I don't know what's inside that can. I can't find any information at all about that part. So anyway, there I am, stuck again, stuck in Lodi again. Yeah, if anybody has information either on this one or this one, schematics on either this one or this one, any information on how to get that part, or what is that part, or data sheet of that part, or any information about the schematic of this or the schematic of this, yeah, any information you got would be very, very helpful.